People with tuberculosis have compromised immunity. Cancer, people with cancer have compromised immunity, and also people with HIV and AIDS usually have compromised immunity.
Okay.
And so you could see diarrhea common in this group of persons. Yeah.
Okay. So like I asked earlier, one would wonder, we're talking about crops, the farming season, and then we're also talking about diarrhea. So how does this lead to diarrhea the farming season?
Yeah. So first of all, let me just talk about the importance of this, because when people have diarrhea also, last week we talked about poor health-seeking behavior. They just go and just get medications and just start taking. They don't take it seriously. So I just want to paint a picture of the burden of diarrhea in Nigeria. So in children under 5, diarrheal disease, the mortality, that's the burden of diarrheal disease, it causes about 150,000 deaths annually in children under 5 in Nigeria. So that is a huge number to deal with, and so I think it is an important topic. Now we're talking about the crops are grown, people have shelter, or will I say hideouts, to defecate. Yeah. So mostly when they defecate, the person who is infected defecates, it contaminates the soil and everything. The water the rain washes it downstream, and then people maybe use that stream as their source of water supply, for cooking, for drinking. And so when they drink this water, they use it to cook, they can contract these illnesses. Yeah. So that is why we advise, or we advocate for safe defecation practices. And then also there are these places that actually don't have potable water to drink. So we are also advocating that the government, if possible, could provide. For example, I want to mention Langtan South as one, because I've been there and I know I know how their water is. It's quite not good. So if those areas can be reached out to, and if they can be provided potable drinking water, it will go a long way in reducing some of this burden of illnesses and diarrheal diseases. Yeah.
I know while you were talking, you mentioned stooling for more than 2-3 times. Yes. So that could be one of the symptoms of diarrhea. So what are the early signs of diarrheal disease people should not ignore? And then when should someone need to rush to maybe the primary health care clinic for care?
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that question. So of course the major symptom is the passage of the loose stool and all. There are other symptoms that may follow depending on what is causing the diarrhea. So sometimes people can come down with fever, which is basically your running temperature, right? So other symptoms may be weakness of the body. So when you're losing this fluid, when you're passing diarrhea, you're actually losing fluid from your body, and you're also losing electrolytes. There's what we call electrolytes that help with the normal functioning of our cells in the body. So if you lose these electrolytes, you would have other symptoms. There are different electrolytes that when you lose them, you have different symptoms. But basically, when you lose fluid and electrolytes, you can have lethargy, that is severe weakness. The person feels weak. And then also, because you're losing fluid, you become dehydrated. So the mouth, the gums, or the mucosa of the mouth are dry. The skin for children or young people is no longer stretchy, it's no longer smooth. When you pinch the skin with your fingers, it doesn't go down immediately. So they lose their skin tugor. like the stretchiness of the skin, they lose it. That may not apply to elderly people because already their skin is a kind of what, wrinkled, right? But then for young, and when you pick their skin, you see that it's just dropping gradually, unlike when you pick yours, it just drops immediately. Yeah. For children, for little children, like maybe infants, this fontanelle, that's this thing on their head that usually breathes, this thing that usually opens and breathes in their head, you will see it sunken inside. And then also their eyeballs in children can be sunken. Yeah, so the skin can be dry, and you could see that the skin is dry. All these are signs of dehydration. So when you see that the person is getting dehydrated and you're already seeing signs, then it's an alarm sign that you should take that person to the hospital, because I've seen a lot of people die because of severe dehydration. Yes.
So now it's something that like we can't help for now, since the farming season is here. Like you said, it's a hideout for open defecation. And so what do we do in this situation? People are still defecating, the rains are here, washing off all these into our streams, into our water sources. So what do we do?
Yes, so the call is a call for responsibility. As much as possible, avoid open defecation as much as possible. So we are calling on everyone to take responsibility for their own health and for the health of others, not to defecate openly. Find toilets, good toilets and latrines, and defecate there. That is number one. 2, people should always wash their hands after using the toilet and before eating. That will also help, because many people may just once they get food, some even forget to wash their hands and they just start eating. So wash your hands before eating. Thirdly, wash vegetables and fruits that you buy properly before eating them. You just buy these things outside, you don't know where they are picked from. Yeah, you would see people just buy spinach and then they'll just maybe heat it and just dust it also and just start cutting it. You don't do that. So you should wash it with salt and water, clean it properly, and then use it. Vegetables, fruits also. People just buy fruits on the road and just start eating. You don't know that water that those people use to
wash up the fruits.
You don't know where they got this water from. Maybe they just went to one stream and just fetched this water and they are using it. Also, even if they don't use water to wash it, flies normally pick dirt from the farms and all those things, from the feces in the farms or wherever they are being dumped openly, and then they drop it on these fruits and on all these things that people buy outside. And when you don't wash it properly, you are at risk of coming down with diarrheal disease. So some of these things, when you buy the dabino, the kwakwa, and the apple and everything, make sure you wash it properly before you eat it.
And then how about our water? How do we handle it? Because we're not sure of the source.
Of course. So you could always boil your water. If you're using it to drink and you're not sure of the source, you could boil it. And then before drinking it, cool it off before drinking it. And also there are some chlorinated agents that you can use also to disinfect the water. Yeah.
I remember there used to be one water guard. I don't know if it's still available.
Okay. It's still available.
Okay, so those could be used as well. And then those boreholes are they also helpful in this situation?
Yeah, sure. So boreholes that are,
and why are they better than the normal wells?
I was about to just explain it. So boreholes, if they are most of our wells in Plateau or in Nigeria are not well constructed. So they are not they don't have lids and they're not well covered and all. So when when rain washes this dirt, it can also pour into the well. The ideal well should have a parapet. That's like a building it's really built up above the level of the land or the soil or whatever it is. Yeah. So that's a parapet. And then also you should have a cover. Yes. So if you build your well appropriately and you cover it well, then you shouldn't have these problems as well.
So let's go to the root of the problem, which is the open defecation. What and how can communities, help in curbing this open defecation, because it affects all of us. So, is there a way that people could be stopped from using farms as toilets?
Okay. So I'll talk about maybe the different levels where advocacy should happen. So in our churches and mosques, we could always advise people, educate people on the dangers of open defecation. So we could advocate through those means, and then also we could put penalties, at the level of the communities. When you're caught defecating openly, you should face some kind of consequences. So when we do that, the Meangwa or the community leaders and all, when people know that there are consequences for certain actions, then I think people will deter from doing such things. So if there is a way we could find people that are defecating openly. I think there are some places when you go, you will see it written on their distance. Do not urinate or defecate here. A fine of so amount.
Yeah.
When you're caught doing that, so we can do that in the community and discuss. When we catch you defecating openly, you're going to pay a fine of maybe 50,000 naira. So that would also help to checkmate some of these things. And then, yeah, I think basically.
Yeah, basically, I think that's it. But let's look at children now who have diarrhea, or younger children, like you said, who are mostly affected because, of course, their immunity is low. Is there a way that this could be handled at home? Is there a primary way of handling it before mother takes the child to the clinic?
Sure. So this is very important, and I think everyone should open their ears to listen, because this is like the most important part of this discussion. So first of all, for children, I made mention that there are viral causes, and it's the most common causes, the common cause. So there is a vaccine against the rotavirus that is being given to children. Yes. So usually at the 6 weeks of age, then the 10th week of 6 weeks, then 10 weeks, and then 14 weeks, they take that vaccine, and it's orally. So for mothers who just gave birth to their children, they should ensure that this vaccine is their children are well vaccinated. Then also, if your child comes down with a diarrhea, not just the child, even the adult, when you come down with diarrhea, you can do first aid at home. And one of the most important things that everyone needs to learn is to know how to reconstitute ORS. That's the oral rehydration solution. So everyone, in fact, if you have a child, you must have it in your house. Just keep it. You don't know when this thing will happen. So everyone must have ORS in their house. And I don't know if it's just for preference, but then we used to advocate for the unflavored ORS, because there are some that are flavored. So the unflavored one is the white one. Once you mix it, it just still looks like water. I think companies just made the flavor to attract children, and all those things. But from experience, we realized that the flavored ones, it kind of does not really work well, and sometimes it worsens the condition. So, as I said, it's just like from experience. We advise that people get the unflavored ORS and then keep it, and you reconstitute it appropriately. The reconstitution is written at the back of the ORS, but usually you use 1 liter of water, clean water, and then dilute the ORS in it, and then you give your child to take per loose stool. When the child loses the stool, the idea is to replace what is yes, as often as you can. So as the child is losing, you're replacing whatever is losing. The ORS contains, there's a local way that people make ORS, but I won't teach that local way because ORS is quite cheap, and we are trying to shy away from that's mixture
making it at home,
mixture of sugar and salt.
Okay.
There's the sugar and
I was
salt
going
mixture.
to ask that if it's okay to do that.
So we are shying away from that. ORS is quite cheap. People should get the ORS that is made. But just
when you say cheap, you have an idea of how much it costs to
200 naira, 100 naira per sachet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but from the concept of the sugar and salt, you see, salt is sodium chloride. So I remember I told you that sodium chloride is part of the electrolytes that are in the body, and they are important, right? And you can lose them when you're having diarrhea. So the idea of the salt and sugar is that, and as you're losing these electrolytes, you're replacing the electrolytes in the salt and sugar, as well as the fluid, that's the water that is being used to dilute such. So ORS is a magic, will I say magic drug or solution to use when your child is having diarrhea. As well, you can use supplements, zinc supplements. Yes, they are over the counter. You can use it and give it. But when you give your child ORS and for maybe 2 days or a day, and the diarrhea keeps coming, please take your child to the hospital. Another thing that you need to consider is that if the child has fever alongside the diarrhea, then ORS alone may not do the job. It means there may be an organism that is causing it, and you may need either antibiotics or any of those antimicrobials that I mentioned earlier. And so at that instance, you may need to take your child to the hospital so that they carry out some tests on either the stool and even the blood, some blood tests. So sometimes when they pick the stool, they can do microscopy and they can see the organism, and they can tell you, oh, this is E. coli or this is salmonella that is causing it. And you can choose from, the doctor can prescribe from the medications that are sensitive to that particular organism. So when there is fever, you don't just give ORS. It's important, you still give it. It's important because you are replacing what the child is losing, but you should still take your child to the hospital to see the doctor.
So
also,
okay.
Just to add, there is this broth, rice broth, rice water. Just use this thing. So when you boil rice, that broth, that water, that thick broth that normally, yes, you can use it and give your child. It also helps.
Okay. And I'm actually curious to know why you are discouraging the homemade ORS. It's readily available at home, so before you think of running to get, you can just make a solution of it. But right now you are saying that you are discouraging that. So what could be the reason for that?
So these things, they have some nitty-gritties that you need to follow. When you say add so tablespoon or so teaspoons of this, and then so tablespoon of this, people out there may not really know what a teaspoon is. Some people may not even know what teaspoon is or so tablespoon is.
So and people might not get the exact quantity
exactly
required.
And then it worsens the condition. Even the ORS, if you don't constitute it properly, can worsen the child's diarrhea if it's not properly constituted. So with that, and then you would say so level teaspoon. So if I say level teaspoon, and then you now carry the teaspoon and then put it, maybe you
Some
just
people don't even have an idea what it means
yes,
to
don't know
have
what level teaspoon is.
Yeah.
Ideally, if you put it, you're supposed to scrape it and put it at level, at that level. And so, but some people will just fold it and put it. So it's because of those words now, nitty-gritties, people may not really understand. You just shy away from it. This one comes in sachet, and you just dilute it in 1 liter of water, and you're done.
Okay, if you are just tuning in, this is Good Morning Plateau, sponsored by the Nigerian Medical Association Plateau State Branch. In the studio with me this morning is Dr. Chanshilip Panshak, a resident doctor with the Department of Radio Oncology, Jos University Teaching Hospital, Jos. He is also the PRO this morning of NMA, actually. So this morning we're looking at diarrhea as the farming season is here. Like he said, the farms have become hideouts for open defecation. So, and of course, when it rains, the defecation it runs into water sources. So this morning we're trying to see how to prevent that. We'll take a break, and when we return, you also can be part of this conversation. Stay with us.
facilities, which is a commendable effort.
So we can say that government has started.
Government has started, actually.
From there, I'm sure we would begin to have public toilets where people, even if you can go and pay for a little fee, and then you just ease up and come out. The fee is mostly for the cleaning
and the maintenance of the toilets. It's not really for anything else.
Okay. So now we can begin to pick our calls. I've been seeing lots of calls coming in. You can get us on 0812-588-6048, and let's see who our first caller is. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry from Refuge. I greet your guest there.
Okay, Pastor, you just did what I wanted you to do, turning off your radio set or moving away from it.
Yes, I'm sorry for that discussion.
All right, thank you.
Yes, I thank God that seriously, PRTV, you are doing well handling this. I greet your guest there, the doctor.
Thank you so much, sir.
You see, there's a lot. And as he's discussing this issue of open defecation and problem that it can bring to the society, I feel very bad. This morning I was just talking with some few people close to my house, and as I was walking out, you see the people litter dirty here and there at each corner. Could you imagine somebody dog die? You come and place it, throw it where they throw the dirty things and leave it there, and it's rotting and smelling in the community. Chicken, the same thing. People just do things without reasoning. You pass our environment, you can't see proper gutters. If the person that did his gutter will not remove the sand to use it to level the main road so that water can have a proper passage. I'm talking of cleanliness in the sense of it all. That when your guests say about the Niangwas and the basin, you don't just say land, and the entire environment is not managed, no road, no gutter, nothing to manage the environment. Our data is just littered here and there. Then the state agencies that manage this thing focus only on the main roads. The streets that enters the communities like this Kuratop, if you go to Refuge Resort, you see that everywhere is littered, full of things that people brought out of their houses. Some people even bring and throw inside the gutter, even as this rain is falling, it goes into many places. So a lot of things is here to discuss. The government to build toiletry facilities, different places, is quite recommendable, and they should look into doing that in the state here, more especially in the city center, because the central place need attention every day. People are coming from various communities and local government to come and stay in the capital here. People are increasing in number here, and the government of the day should look into whether local government, state government should look into this thing seriously and get at work around it. Having said this, I also urge that community leaders like Niangwa should talk. Please, when you sell land, define the road for the people. When government mark a place, allow it to flow as a road. Don't sell it. Then they should allow people that are living in a place, tell them to make gutters. Nobody should put fence in the road where we can be able not to be passing there. Motor cannot pass when you want to bring goods or things inside the community to build another house. It's hard of. Everywhere should be thinking planning. I will just say that our land will be seriously healed of these diseases that can come out from these things. Thank you very much, and may God bless you out there.
Thank you, Pastor Eric. We've heard you loud and clear. I'm sure Doctor would respond to all the issues you just raised this morning. We appreciate your call. 0812 588 6048 is the number. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm Ambassador Caleb Lamerle from Boys Secondary School, Gilbert.
Ambassador Caleb, go ahead.
This issue that we are discussing is very vital. We know that it's a three-state. I play my role, you play your role, the government play our role. You discover that we are able to prevent this problem we are facing. Because you discover that when I was in primary school, we have a lot of clubs. Some people belong to sanitation club, some belong to both brigade, Yes Brigade, police club, Boy Scouts. So all this is to cope up the activities that will help the environment. So discover that if we are able to control the environment by ourselves, we will prevent the side effects of this into our life. So the duty it belongs to I, you, and the government. We should play the role so that to prevent this problem we are facing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador Caleb. The solution, we are all part of the solution. Government, you and I, and of course, everyone. Okay, 0812 588 6048. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Osbert Jackson, the father of the state.
Osberg, go ahead.
To me, people have been people knew what are the level of it. Only the club are going to attitude. We have been on this for long. But yet they will say, we will surprised that some who are even learned, they have their houses without toilet. So, we continue to so far that enforcement through the imposition of fines and other things will help. About Diarrhea, I want to ask a detail. After eating prepared food, to me personally, I developed working school. So when I go for medication, I take the drugs, I get things. The second cause diarrhea. And then there is this, when people have diarrhea, there is this capsule, it's called Lotral. They are actually taking one capsule. If you take one capsule, then the diarrhea stops. Is it a permanent solution? I want the doctor to at least accept one life like this. Thank you.
What was his last question?
Okay, I think you need to be clear on that question. This last question you asked.
The last one.
Yes.
There is one capsule called Lotral.
Loperamide.
So somebody recommended to me that once you have diarrhea, just take one capsule and then the diarrhea itself. I tried it once. That's segregation. I'm sorry.
Yes, I was going to tell you that. Drug abuse.
Okay, you're clear now.
Yeah. He got you. All right. Thank you, Osberg, for calling all the way from Tafa Balewa. We appreciate your call this morning. And another person is here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Francis Kadu, calling you from Pushit, aka Majority Leader.
Okay, Krankes, let's hear you.
I want to appreciate the effort of our guests this morning.
Thank you.
What about those that are taking water in stream? They are using it for cooking and they are drinking it. I want to appeal to government, come closer to our people in rural areas. We need water. I want to appreciate Senator representing Central Zone, Picket Plank, people of Jock in Pushiri. They have ball. He gave them ball recently. And then the issue of toilet, I want to appreciate government too. In my place here in Pushit Central Primary School, we have model ball. They have water and then so on and so forth. So I want to appeal to the teachers to teach the young children how to defecate in this toilet is help a lot. And then those that they farm maize and then so on and so forth, and you discover that people are going there and defecate. Is it good? Love this show. Keep what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Krankes, all the way from Pushit. Okay, let's see one more call and then we'll get back to the doctor in the house. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You said one more call, I've been trying. It's Radio Mama, I don't know, calling from Ranchia.
Okay, go ahead,
yes,
Radio Mama.
I've touched on what is really bothering me. And that is this open defecation thing on the Plateau. Remember, we're a room of peace and terrorism. And then the ranking is, in fact, is worrisome. You know, it's a ranking in terms of open defecation in Nigeria. It's worrisome. I don't want to mention what it is because it's a disaster. So what I want to say here is that enforcement of laws helps to regulate people's behavior. When are people going to get the people concerned to go and do operation show your toilet, the functional toilet? If you do that, you discover that most of the eateries don't have toilets. The saloons, you go to make your hair there and your press, they'll tell you they don't have any toilets. Then you ask them, where do they live? They say that they go to the nearby bush, they do this and that. You know, that is the issue. You know, it's really unfortunate. So let them do that first. When you do that, psychologically it will affect so many people. Landlords, some of them build, they want to, you know, use up every space. They don't want to put toilets. You see, a particular block of shops, you know, it could be up to 10. And they won't put it in one single toilet. And even if they put it, it's only one. You know, it's only a few people who are civilized that know the right thing to do, like the state locals, the blocks there, the ones that came up newly. They have a toilet to each shop. You can't believe it. That man needs to be given an award. I couldn't believe it. So that's where to start from. Because if you don't have enough public toilets, how can you stop you from going to defecate openly? It's not possible. In the village, it's the same thing. Go there, they make the language, the people should go and find. I don't think it's that they want to have fun defecating outside. Find out why they don't have toilets and then find a way of making sure they have those toilets. You know? How can the landlord who's going to rent out a house go and build a house and won't put enough toilet facilities? Both the person who's renting the house and the landlord, all of them should be prosecuted. It's not funny again. Then go to schools. Some of the schools, they do what they call, they have this thing they say, short put. They defecate inside the leather and then they throw it over the fence or wherever, you know, because they don't have functional toilets. So this is what we should start doing, you know, and not just saying it by word of mouth and say don't defecate, you have to find somebody. Let us have enough public toilets. You go to the market, most of the markets don't have toilets, multiply the same thing. So that's it. Please, if we should start this operation, show your toilet, and there will be sanity in the land. All the select people in Nigeria, they are Denmark.
Thank you, Ada. Maybe next time we'll have PEPSA here. I think they are responsible for that. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your call this morning. Back to you, Doctor. You have a few questions today, so you can go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to comment on Radio Mama. She really spoke passionately about this issue, and it cannot be overemphasized. So people must take responsibility, and then as well government must come in with stringent measures to see that these things are coped with. Yeah, so I think the question I have here is I just labeled it pepperish diarrhea. So he says he normally has diarrhea after eating pepperish food or so. Yeah, so that is possible, and it's because pepper has this constituent or ingredient, if I'll call it. It's called capsaicin. So, and that irritates the lining of the intestine and also the lining of the stomach. So even that capsaicin is indicated in ulcer. You understand? So, but then as it irritates the lining of the intestine, it causes the person to have diarrhea. So that's how pepper causes diarrhea. For that kind of diarrhea, you don't need to take antibiotics because it's not caused by...
Stop eating the pepper.
Yes, just stop eating the pepper and it goes. So you don't need antibiotics. You don't need to go and buy antibiotics. Now he also asks about a drug. Loperamide is actually the drug. Yeah, so loperamide is an over-the-counter drug, and people can buy it and use it whenever they have diarrhea. But there is a way that is being used. Normally, in the first episode of diarrhea, if you pass watery stool, the first episode, you can take 4 milligrams of that. As an adult, you can take 4 milligrams. So it usually comes in 2 milligrams, the capsule. So you can take 2, the first instance of the diarrhea, and then subsequently you can take 1 capsule per diarrhea that you have. But there is a certain amount that you won't take for per day.
That's why you need to meet the doctor.
Yes,
for
so
that.
you need to meet the doctor for that. But that's just like something you could start before you go to the hospital. Don't just take that and then and stop at home. But it's something you can get and something you can use actually. Yeah. So that has answered this question, I guess. Is there any other question? I don't think so.
Yeah, just about the issues of I think Pastor Eric was passionate about having proper gutters around, people dumping of refuse around the
so I
residential areas.
Yes, so I noted some things from his contribution, and first of all, we didn't even talk about it because this open defecation is actually an eyesore. First of all, you could imagine passing by and you just see feces being dumped close to the dumping site. Some people actually go to pass feces at that dump site where he's talking about. So it's an eyesore, and it also causes air pollution. It pollutes the air. So those are some of the things that even happen when people do such, and people should refrain from that. We talked about prevention and good hygiene. People must imbibe good hygiene practices. Yes, which one of it is, first of all, washing your hands, and then secondly, dumping your feces properly is actually part of good hygiene. Open defecation is not good practice. So also safe food handling. So you see, another thing that we can tell people to avoid is know where you eat outside, because it's not every buka or restaurant that you can just enter and go and eat. Some of these people, you don't know where they get their water to cook for you and how they even handle the food, and you could eat and get infected with this microorganisms. So if you can avoid it, try as much as possible to eat at home, and then stay hydrated. When you have diarrhea, you always want to drink water, and then if you have your ORS as well, you should drink it. So keep hydrated, and I think that will really help. So Radio Mama said, Operation Show your toilet.
Yes,
very important. Very important. I think if the government should be deliberate about this, particularly. So people just construct structures now without any form of supervision, and they construct anything they want to construct anyhow without having some of these important facilities. Initially I said I didn't want to share my story about diarrhea, but let me just share it. I was in Terminals the other day, and I just had running tummy, and I knew that if I don't take action, I would just poo on my body. So I looked around where I was. I didn't find any toilet, and there is this big shopping complex around UTC Junction. Yes, so I was just coming from there, so I just thought this shopping mall should have toilets now. I rushed, I blocked the keke, went back, and luckily for me I found the toilet there, and I had to ease myself there. So you see, imagine if I'd seen one farm close by.
Exactly. I wouldn't say at that moment.
But at that moment, so government should provide public toilets. We cannot overemphasize these points. Public toilets should be available at points so that people can ease themselves whenever
I know many times some of us have had to run into the banks and just to ease up because there are no public toilets.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So.
Okay. Any final advice? We go now.
Yeah. So my final words. I'll just pick from what one of the callers said. everyone has a role to play
Yeah.
in this. So let's not just wait for the government. Yes, the government has a role to play, but we have a role to play, and that role is that of responsibility. Plateau, you must be responsible, you must take responsibility, do the right thing, so that we can prevent ourselves from getting infected. Thank you.
And the rainy season, this rainy season, advice from now, don't drink danger. So when you're drinking water, imagine it's coming from the stream, and just imagine from the farm to the stream, something is running from the farm to the stream. So take care of your water, boil your water as you drink it, and so that you are not part of the problem, use a toilet.
Of course.
Yes, like doctor said, and one of the callers said, it's all of us, the government, you and I, three of us are responsible. So use the toilet, and most importantly, wash your hands. I'd like to appreciate you, Dr. Chanshilip Panshak, for being on the program this morning. Thank you so much for putting this together.
Yeah, thank you
on
for
Good
having
Morning Plateau.
Yeah.
And I would also want to appreciate the executive producer of the program, Rita Kacholon-Pam, the supervising producers, Hudun Gyang and Esther Nasara. And the producer of the program, Inga Samo, co-produced by... it was produced also by Daniel Eneramo, one of our IT students. Thank you so much, Dan, for a job well done. And to the studio manager, Nansat Guning, the ICT, Adati Seth. From the newsroom, we had with us this morning, Janet Asut. Not forgetting the IT students with us from Bingham University, Plateau, Federal University, Kashere. They've all been part of this program this morning. Thank you to you also, the listener, for joining us. Until we come your way again on Good Morning Plateau tomorrow, ensure that you don't open defecate. Bye for now.